7.28 has come with so many changes, and that includes a new ability or ability upgrade for every single hero. That's right, every hero in Dota has a new type of ability. We're going to be going over all of that in today's video. Every shard ability, here we go, starting with Abaddon all the way down to Zeus. And remember, smash the like button, subscribe, comment down below, and watch to the end if you want to support your boy Speed and everyone who's part of the gameleap team. We genuinely appreciate it. And now let's get into the videos. And we've been waiting a lifetime for this patch. Speaking of lifetime, gameleap is currently doing a $50 off sale on their lifetime sub. So if you're looking for thousands of videos and new daily content every day, you can get a lifetime sub for $50 off right now. This is a special we're doing for the new patch to celebrate. So click the link down below, sign up now, you won't regret it. It's quite a large discount. So I really recommend that you guys take advantage of it, and I'll see you there. So first things first with Abaddon. His shard ability causes Miscoil and Aphotic Shield to apply a Curse of Avernus stack on enemies, and it increases the base slow by 6%. By the way, everyone, I'm going to give you my opinion and like a general rating for every single shard ability. Then in the comment section down below, we can debate them, alright? So if you think I'm dead wrong, and I say, hey, this is awful, never buy this, and you completely disagree, that is the point of these videos, to have a genuine discussion and to continue theory crafting. It's the first day of the patch, no one knows what's good for sure. We're simply taking our best educated guesses based off our intuition. Alright, let's get back into Abaddon. But basically, every time you cast your Q or your W, it applies a Curse of Avernus stack on enemies. So basically, okay, the one thing I'm wondering is, oh, so when your Aphotic Shield explodes, it applies a stack to people. You can't cast it on them, okay? I'm not a huge fan of this, guys, to be honest, because basically what I would recommend is just to buy a drum. So this one, no go. I'm going to say don't buy it. Next up, we have Alk. Grants Berserk Potion. Throws a potion at the target ally. So what I'm guessing here is, oh, does it give you a separate concoction, or is it the same one? I think it's a separate ability. So upgrade is where it upgrades ability, but new ability means it's a new ability. So, okay, I figured it out, guys. I'm a genius. It's a new ability, so it does not stack with your concoction. It gives you a new one. So that's legit, because for Alk, 1,400 gold isn't that much, and so having like an extra ability definitely seems very strong. Granting 50 attack speed and 40 HP regen for 10 seconds. That's a long time. With the 800 cast range, that's huge. Cooldown is only 45 and can be used on yourself. So you can even dispel things from yourself, which is huge, because let's say you need to purge like daggers or, you know, a gale. You can buy this. The only problem is obviously you can't purge silences because you're silenced, so it doesn't give you that ability. But okay, I'm going to say legit. Ancient Apparition, Ice Vortex. Causes Ice Vortex to deal 40 DPS and reduce attack speed by 20. Not a fan. I would say it's too expensive. This hero, as is already hard to farm with. You could see in the photo here, the 40-second tick is not, it's not like that often. It's not like tick, 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 tick. It's tick, tick. So I'm gonna say no. Anti-Mage Counterspell creates an illusion attacking the caster for 5 seconds if you're successful with it. I mean, sure, I guess to be fair, like against certain heroes like Sniper, it's good because like it's easy to reflect Sniper, but he shouldn't even use that on you in the first place. So for this one, I'm gonna say it's not legit most of the time. Most right-click carries, it's hard to reflect them anyway, so no. Until late game, sure. Magnetic Field. On Arc Warden, Magnetic Field now pushes enemies out of the area at a cast time, providing allies in it with 20% magic resist. Well, late game, definitely legit, right? When you're 8 slotted, you can buy this. But earlier than that, no, not really. I mean, to be fair, it does push people off of you. So maybe in very specific circumstances, if you have to push like an Ursa off of you, but like at the same time, you could just buy a 4-staff and have 2 of them. But to be fair, I guess you get 2 of these as well. I don't know. Doesn't seem too good to me, but hey. Alright, Axe. Counter Helix causes your attacks to have a chance to proc a Counter Helix. So it's that trash talent people would, you know, basically never take anyways unless they bought a Manta. So yeah, even though it gives you 20 attack speed, probably not legit. Bane, Fiend's Grip now creates an uncontrollable illusion that also is channeling Fiend's Grip on the target. My question is that, does it do double damage with the Fiend's Grip, right? So both of you are channeling Fiend's Grip. You can cancel it on yourself and still keep going. So to be fair, it's really good at solo killing people. really good at solo killing people. If, you know, this can't be canceled, let's say it's a side lane pickoff. But to be fair, you could do this with Nightmare anyways. All I'm seeing is that it's harder to cancel. Let's say the enemy team only has single target cancels. You basically can make it where it's harder to get canceled, but for 1400 gold on a hero that can't really farm, probably not good. Flaming Lasso for Batrider also allows Flaming Lasso to be cast on ally heroes, granting them 80% damage reduction. That's a lot of damage reduction. Has a 20-second cooldown when used on allies. Well, the only problem I see with this is 20 seconds is pretty long in a team fight, right? Also for Batrider, if you're going to use it on a teammate, you better hope you have a BKB, because if you lasso your teammate and drag them away, you're going to get stunned. You're both going to get stunned by any AoE spells. So really, what concerns me about this is if you don't have a BKB, I don't see it as that legit, right? I think it would be hard to use, but later into the game, definitely legit, right? You could save a carry that gets jumped. So I would say legit later on, but early on, no. Definitely not. Call of the Wild Hawk. The thing can dive bomb. Jesus. What? Channels for 1 second, revealing itself and flies towards the target. This, by the way, is for the Hawk, and dealing 175 damage and stunning them for 1 second. I feel like it's just stunned for 2 seconds, but I guess for 1400 gold, maybe that's too good. So, I don't know. I think for Beastmaster, it's too expensive, right? I think it's a bit too expensive. I'm not a fan. I definitely think this is a bit much. Okay. Blood Rage. Blood Rage attacks deal 1.5% of the target's max health as pure damage. Pure, keep that in mind. Pure, and heals you for that amount. So it allows you to man up to heal a little bit. Only affects Bloodseeker. Yeah, okay. So it doesn't work on teammates. Alright. So you can't like mega buff a core, which kind of stinks. But yeah, it's good for right-clicking Bloodseeker later on. Definitely 1400 gold to deal this much damage. Pretty substantial. Track. So this one I actually read beforehand, like I was quickly going through them, and it seems mega legit. Allies gain 50% of track speed boost, and most importantly, you can see here, whoever you track, it provides 800 vision around the target for your team. That is huge. Now, it doesn't make you tanky, which is always the problem with buying Ags or this new Ag shard. You don't get any stats, which is kind of bad for Bounty Hunter. You can't really frontline or bait nearly as well compared to like a Hood. You know, I'll be probably saying Hood or Drums a lot in this video because I always like to give like that price point. It's like, you're spending 1400 gold, what could you have instead, right? Like, what build up could you have instead? What item? But this one I definitely see as legit, for sure. The amount of vision that provides is insane. Like, that's so good. It's so good. And 50% movement speed extra, like, I really see that as good. Okay, the primal split for Brewmaster now creates a void ruling. How cute. Has Astral Pulse, affecting enemies in an AoE, applies a 20% slow up to 40% and disarms for 2.5 seconds, which is kind of cool. So what I would say is if you buy the new Ags on Brewmaster, which gives you 2 charges, I would definitely consider, the shard as well, right? Makes sense, right? If you're going to have 2 charges, buffing it up even more is definitely legit. Bristleback is a hairball. Come on. Are you serious? A hairball? It coughs up a quill-filled hairball, and towards the location, it erupts, hitting enemies, and hits them with goo and 2 quills. Yes, it's 2 quills, but it's 1400 gold. On Bristle, small items are everything. This hero is like a small item fiend. It just wants to buy like Vanguard, Hood, Blade Mail. I don't know when you fit in a hairball, you know? Like later on into the game, yeah, 2 quills could be super legit. That's a lot of damage later on, but early, nah, I don't think so. Broodmother, Silken Bola. Bola is such a disgusting word. I'm sorry if your last name is Bola, but consumes 1 spin web charge and roots the target enemy for 2 seconds. Why would you want that? Why would you want that? For 1400 gold? No. Double Edge causes Double Edge to increase your strength by 15% for every hero hit. So technically, if you get a 5-man Double Edge, it gives you 1 second, I'm doing the math, guys. It gives you 75% HP. Wow, right? That's the number. Yes, 75% HP. And it stacks, by the way. The duration refreshes per stack up to 5 stacks. So you can get like a huge Double Edge and just gain a lot of HP. And it slows, which is nice, because the slow is going to allow you to line up for stuns, and it slows for 2 seconds. Double Edge cooldown is 4 seconds. So really, it's going to help you stay on top of people. So I would say maybe if you're going some like weird like Vanguard Hood heart build, you could buy this like after the heart and go some like Mimi strength build, but damage. Other than that, nah. It's like the same cost as all those tanky items, and it's close to a blink as well, so I don't know. Weird. Chaos Bolt creates a phantom illusion attacking the target. I'm not even going to read the rest of that. That sounds garbage. Divine Favor allows Divine Favor to be cast on allies, teleporting them back home. So this is for Chen. It's the old Chen Divine Favor where you'd send them back, and after 6 seconds, they'd go home. Now, to be fair, it's a 35-second cooldown, which is really low. So kind of what I'm seeing here with Chen, what is kind of legit what you can do with this is you can buy it early on to the game. Let's say you go mech into Aghanim Shard. It seems kind of legit because the send back is very, very viable. However, it is purgeable. It cannot target spell immune allies, so you cannot target someone who's BKB'd or raged, I guess, or blade furied. And it's purgeable, so you have to keep that in mind. I guess your teammates maybe could even BKB it off. I don't know how that works. You guys will have to let me know. But you can maybe go mech into Shard and send people back. It's really good with things like Storm Spirit. You know, any hero that has a big mana pool, like Skywrath mid, or I don't know. Really, anyone you need to send back to base, it is quite viable for that, right? Because you can, you know, go get items, go heal, and then they can TP back out because they obviously didn't use their TP. So, I don't know. I see this one as definitely legit. Skeleton Walk. It gives you the old Skeleton Walk Ags. So, hey, to be fair, if it gives you what the Ags gives you, the old Ags gives you, it's got to be pretty legit, right? Only problem is, doesn't give you stats, which is like kind of a bad thing for Clinks. You really need some tankiness on this hero. But yeah, causes Skeleton Walk to create 2 burning army skeletons. I definitely see that as legit. Maybe you go like, Orchid into BKB, or Deso BKB, or Diffusal BKB into Shard. You could definitely consider that. Or even Orchid with Shard. It's very glass cannon-y, but hey, you can play Clinks like that. Clockwork has a jetpack! Grant's jetpack rises up and grants flying vision, flying movement, and 15% movement speed, but significantly reduces ability to turn. Lasts 6 seconds. You are disarmed during the flight. Not gonna lie, guys, seems like hot garbage to me. Okay. Sure, it gives vision, but you have Rocket Flare. Do you really need more vision? Is it required? Frostbite reduces cooldown by 1 second and allows it to be cast on yourself, reducing incoming damage by 70% for the duration. Allows casting Frostbite while channeling as long as a valid target is in range, so it reduces Frostbite by 1 and allows you to reduce incoming damage. Also allows casting Frostbite while channeling as long as a... Oh, wow. Oh, that's cool. So basically, you can ulti, and you can still Frostbite someone. That's kind of cool. And it reduces the cooldown by 1 second, and it gives you the ability to cast it on yourself. Kind of cool. I would say, like, the problem is it's, like, the same cost as Glimmer and close to Blink and close to Force Staff, so, like, kind of awkward for that reason, but, like, hey, let's say you know you're gonna get jumped by, like, a PL, you could waste a lot of his time. But to be fair, yeah, no, it's more so for magical because you have your ultimate for heroes like PL. You don't really need that for PL. Yeah, so, I mean, maybe if they have, like, a bunch of burst damage, like, I don't know, Zeus, you could use this to protect yourself, but then you're not frostbiting an enemy. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but maybe legit in niche circumstances. Normal Punch, the Pokemon ability! Darkseer's a Pokemon! Grants Normal Punch, passive cooldown attack, causes your next attack on a hero to knock an illusion out of them. It knocks them out of themselves, so it's good against Agi cores for sure. It's kind of like your ultimate. It's good against heroes where you actually want an illusion of them. You don't really want to punch like a CM. It's not going to do that much. Well, you know, in terms of creating an illusion. But it knocks them back, deals 250 damage, which is quite a lot. It's based upon how much you've moved. So you stun them for up to 2 seconds. So basically you have to run around a bunch. So if you just punch them but you haven't run around, it's not going to do anything. So you need to move a bunch of distance first. So run around in circles and then punch them. And to be fair, it's only a 14-second cooldown to stun them. So like, I see this as pretty legit, you know? 14-second cooldown, it's really low to stun people. You know, having a stun on Darkseer, I definitely see as like cool. Dark Willow, Cursed Crown now creates 4 brambles. As you can see in the picture here, the brambles is pretty legit, right? Because it's not trash, it definitely looks pretty solid, where the brambles actually surround the opponent. It's not like in some bad order where they can walk out of it. It's actually around them, and so yeah, it also reduces the cooldown by 3 seconds, which is nice. I think Cursed Crown is what? Like 11 seconds at max? You also have a talent that reduces it, I think, now. Am I crazy? Oh no, I'm crazy. You don't. Maybe you do. I don't know. But it reduces the cooldown by 3. So yeah, I would say, I don't know, definitely not until later on into the game. Because the problem with this is that your hero really needs other items. You need like Blink, Gules, Glimmer. Like you need these type of items to live. So I wouldn't buy this until later on for sure. But later on, it's legit. Dazzle now gets his Ags. It launches an attack at the 3 closest enemies within... Oh, but it's only 3 now, so it's not everyone. Within 1200 range, prioritizes heroes. I mean, to be fair, what I will say is that, like, every time you cast an ability, you know, it attacks people. So, like, you can do, like, 3 attacks very quickly with all of your active abilities. So, I mean, like, I don't know. I think it's a bit cheesy, to be honest, because it's a bit of gold just to hit people with, like, Dazzle. So it has to be Core Dazzle, you know, which is kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know. That one's I'm mixed about. Spirit Siphon now drains armor and gives it to you. What I will say is if the enemy team is all physical damage, sure, you can buy it. Otherwise, don't buy it. Thunder Strike now can be cast on allies, follows the ally and deals damage around them. Each strike gives a short 1-second buff that provides 50% movement speed and 75% attack speed. Strike interval is every 2 seconds. But 1 second buff is quite a bit of time, you know, for 75 attack speed, can let you get in like 2 extra auto attacks potentially. Increases radius by 160 when used on allies. Okay, I mean, for support, once again, the problem, guys, you have to understand, most shards on supports are not going to be viable. Please keep this in mind. I know there's going to be a ton of people griefing pubs, buying first item of shards. You're going to have literally like 2 net worth because you're going to have tranquils and a freaking shard. Like, guys, please be very careful about this. Glimmer Cape, 9 times out of 10 will still be better than shard. Okay? There's going to be a bunch of people who disagree with me on this, and maybe my mind will change. Hey, my mind changes. But for now, my intuition, my years and years of Dota experience and, you know, just thinking and playing this game all day, every day, tells me that you shouldn't buy this most of the time. But okay, let's keep going. On supports. Infernal Blade stun duration is increased. It's doubled to 1.2. If the enemy level is a multiple of 3 or above level 24, level death is back! Level death! I was literally talking, I was talking to one of my friends recently about this. I was literally talking to 1337 about this recently. And we're like, rip level death. And now they basically brought it back. If the enemy level is a multiple of 3, so if they're level 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, if they're any of that garbage or above level 24, they will be stunned for an additional 0.6 seconds and take 150. So hey, late game, it stuns them for even longer and does bonus damage extra. So hey, late game, definitely viable. Okay, because right, level 24, see what I'm saying? But usually, I mean, to be fair, it is a pretty long stun, to be honest. 1.6 seconds is pretty long. So kind of legit, to be honest. It does allow you to initiate with it, you know? Okay, what I will say is, let's say you don't want to buy a blink, which is weird, but like, let's say you don't want to buy a blink. I don't know. This is so weird. Imagine you just buy this first item, and you can go no items into shard, and you just walk up to some level 3 CM and you just hit her for like a 1.8 second stun. Okay, Fireball. Grants Elder Dragon form with the Fireball ability. Ignites a 450 AoE area for 10 seconds, dealing 80 damage per second. Lasts 10 seconds. Is that it? Just does damage? I mean, okay. What I will say about this is it's only a 20-second cooldown, so it's really good wave shove. A lot of people might look at this and be like, oh my god, it's such a good team fight. I really see this as wave shove. What I see here is like, basically you can just farm fast on DK now if you buy this, which is interesting, you know? It's like one of those items where you could go like Treads, Wand, Double Bracer into Shard and then just like farm a bunch, maybe. It's like Nether Toxin, essentially. So yeah. Frost Arrows apply a hypothermia stack. Jeez, we're getting all into like various illnesses now. Hypothermia, okay. Reducing their generation by 10% per stack, lasts 7 seconds. If the enemy hero dies with hypothermia stacks, they burst and deal 60 magic damage per stack and 25% slow for 2 seconds. Okay, definitely not viable early on. Later on, yeah, sure. Reducing generation later on? Hey, that's great for late game draw, but, you know, if you have to counter a Morphling, I guess, right? Like mid game you can maybe buy it, like Dragonlance Manta, BKB, Shard. It could be okay against certain heroes. Causes Earth Remnants to provide ground vision. Oh, that's a big deal. You can scout high grounds with your Remnant, with your stone. That's huge. That's very strong, actually. Just, like, guys, vision is huge in Dota. Like, I don't think people realize how big of a deal vision is. That's why, like, when I saw the bounty thing, I'm like, oh, okay, instantly, that's pretty good, right? Vision, vision, vision. Vision dictates mid to late game fights. It's, like, the #1 factor. It really is. So, this is, it increases charge count by 4. Oh, okay. The problem is when you increase the charge count, but you don't reduce the cooldown. While it is good, the real problem with this is that it's hard to get up to that 11 stacks, right? Also, another thing to note is that it decreased the remnant duration from 2 minutes to 1 minute. So like they half the amount of time it's on the ground providing vision. But to be fair, it's still good. It's still really good for just like throwing it up on a hill and scouting a hill, you know? So I think this one's legit. I do. When do you buy it is the question. I don't know. But I think maybe like third item you could buy it. You could go like Urn, Wand, Tranquils, maybe like a Veil or something like that, or Glimmer into the shard. That could be good. Reduces fissure cooldown by 2 seconds and allows you to walk on it. Whenever you cast a spell, an aftershock effect is replicated through the fissure path. Okay? So you can, so basically you can fissure them, and then you could stun them again. But the problem is, why wouldn't you blink? Right? So you could fissure, and then you can W, and then it will stun them. It is big, that's huge. Just like mine. But basically, you know, like, okay, I don't know. That one's iffy, because like, why not buy, I mean, you definitely should buy Blink. Don't buy this instead of Blink. I swear to God, people are gonna buy this instead of a Blink. And they're gonna like fissure, and then instead of being able to use Echo Slam, they're just gonna W to Echo Stomp. Allows you to turn Echo Stomp onto autocast. Oh, autocast. When cast, while on autocast, you will take the place of the Astral Spirit as if it completes the stomp. When cast while on autocast, oh, okay, so basically what I see here is that this is really good with, you know, like right click. It's really good with right click Elder Titan. So this is, I actually kind of like this. It's cool. You hop on top of people. So it's really good if you have like that BKB, you know? Otherwise, Elder Titan is kind of bad. So you need BKB or Ags to make this legit. But if you do have BKB or Ags, this is good. So you need BKB or Ags, then buy this. Fire Remnant deals 45 damage per second and a 600 AoE around them. Dying or killing an enemy hero leaves a Fire Remnant nearby. Kills within 400 range of your count. Not a fan. Yeah, okay, it doesn't stack either. You can't like constantly burn people, so definitely not. Nature's Attendants adds 3 permanent Nature's Attendants that follow you around. Oh, it's kind of cool. The problem is, once again, Ench is a hero that cannot farm that fast, and so like spending 1400 gold on Ench is basically they're saying, hey, you have to be an offlaner to buy this, right? A Black Hole upgrade, okay? Black Hole now does a non-interrupting pull towards its center. Pulls at a rate of 175 units per second. And that seems pretty good against this jug, but I don't know if this jug has no boots. It looks like this jug doesn't have boots though, so it's probably not as good as it seems. Like this jug seemingly literally has no items, so I don't think it's actually that good. But I don't know. I mean, it's definitely cool. I don't think it's good, but it's cool. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's, I can't tell. I literally can't tell. Time Walk remains castable for 1.5 seconds after landing. If used in this period, you will... It's like the Moonwalk. It also increases your Time Walk cast range. That's pretty good, actually. No, this one's legit, actually. This one's legit on Late Game Void. Late Game Void, for sure. You can go on someone, hit them 3 times, and then back up, you know? That's actually really strong. Like, it lets you initiate for 200 range farther. Oh, but it does not change the health the second you use. Oh, okay, okay. But still, it allows you to go in and out. Grants ink cover, ink over. Covers a target enemy in ink for 6 seconds. Slowing attack speed by 50. Movement speed by 20%. Dealing a total of 240 damage over its duration. Oh, that's a lot of attack speed. The cast range is kind of small, 700. It's not that bad though, but 50 attack speed's a lot, and 20% movement speed. I definitely see this as legit. Yeah, I think it's legit. And the thing is, you can cast this on 2 people, right? So if you ulti someone, right? If you get your ulti off, yeah, I think this is legit. Especially if you have like a core Grimstroke, which I actually think is semi-viable in the offlane role. I think it could be okay. Once again, for most supports early on, not really. Rocket Barrage now hits an extra target, increases the duration by 1 second. Well, if you're Topson and you buy an E-Blade, you could buy it after the E-Blade, I guess. But you still need BKB and Blink to make this viable though, so keep that in mind. Inner Fire, reduce HP regen by 50%, causes Inner Fire to reduce HP regen at 50% and applies a 35% movement speed slow. Oh, okay, that's your Q. Lowers cooldown by 2 seconds. Well, the one thing I will say about this is that against certain heroes, it's good. If you reduce their healing by 50% on certain heroes, that's huge, and the slow is pretty big, so definitely later on, you know, Armlet, Halberd, BKB, maybe then you buy this shard against Morphling, those type of heroes, Morphling, Bristlebacks, you know, maybe Wex Invoker type of vibe. Causes Ice Wall to become a 900 range vector target. So basically, this is just good if you're trash Invoker. Nah, I mean, it does let you put it in front of, like, you can cover areas with it. Like, the viability I see with this is, like, let's say the enemy team dives high ground. Then you put an Ice Wall, like, you easily put an Ice Wall to block the entrance or exit. That's pretty good. So, yeah, I think, I mean, the problem is you need other items on Invoker first, for sure. I mean, this is always going to be the case with Shard. I keep saying it, but I want to drill that into people's head. Because I'm so afraid people are going to rush these shards and, like, just grief. But Tether. Ending Tether now stuns enemies touching it for 1.75 seconds and deals 150 damage. Increases movement speed by 5%. Alright. Hey, I mean, later on, sure, having a 2-second stun, that can be very good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with another stun. Liquid Frost on Jakiro grants Liquid Frost. Auto-cast attack ability causes your ice head to release a frost-based attack, slowing enemies by 30% and dealing 20 plus 2.5 max health as damage per 4 seconds, but the cooldown is 12. Not a fan. It's too long of a cooldown. To be fair, late game, absolutely. The reason why I say absolutely is 10% damage late game. It's a lot. But until then, nah. Blade Fury increases your movement speed during Blade Fury by 100 and attacks a random nearby enemy once per second. Oh, that's very good. Oh, that's very good. Late game, that's really good, actually. No, like late game, you just get to hit people while spinning. Like you can just easily kill a CM during spin down. Oh, that's very viable. That's very viable later on. Okay, that's a good one. Illuminate causes Illuminate to heal allied units for 40% of its damage during the daytime. Oh, so it's the old one. Okay, so they gave that thing to Kato. So, all right, actually, it's kind of viable because now instead of costing, this was literally the same thing as Ags. Wasn't that his Ags last patch? That was the Ags, I think. It was like the same thing. So, yeah, this is viable. I think this is viable. The only problem is that's all it gives you, you know? But to be fair, the amount of sustain, oh, but it's only 40%. That's all I'll say. It's very Once again, same cost as Force Staff, kind of, same cost as Glimmer, Once I read it was 40%, Kunkka Tidal Wave. Okay, Tidal Wave. Grants a Tidal Wave. Releases a wave towards the target. Deals 225 damage and drags. It's not interrupting, so it doesn't cancel things. Enemies along it for 600 range over 1.25 seconds. The wave spawns 600 units behind you and travels 1400 distance in front of you. It seemingly stuns this drow. Like I'm looking at the thing. It looks like it makes her, but I think people can still attack. I mean, hey, that's pretty strong. It's a lot of damage, like 225 damage. Early game? Like, you could buy this early on into the game. That's a lot of damage, guys. Like, 225. This seems like one of the better ones to me. You just casually do 225 damage for 1400 gold. That's better than a Dagon, you know, for the cost of a Dagon Kunkka. I'm calling it now. You just build a bunch of, like, nuke. You buy it's gonna be E-Lade Kunkka. The Thompson build. Maybe that's kind of legit. You go magic damage Kunkka. You buy, like, obviously you buy a bunch of stats so you're tanky, and then you go, like, E-Blade with this shard. You go the shard, E-Blade, Dagon Veil, not Kaya, Frick Kaya, and then you buy, yeah, BKB, nice, there we go. I'm ruining pubs. Duel. While dueling, every 1.5 seconds an overwhelming odds is cast centered on a random enemy unit within 900 radius. Oh, but that's while dueling. Does not center on the same target twice. I mean, hey, if you buy an Ags, like if you buy Ags and your Ags thing lasts like 7 seconds and you're just constantly overwhelming odds people, so that's what I would say. If you're gonna buy Ags on Legion, you can consider this late game. Yeah, it's a lot of damage late game, so cool. Split Earth repeats itself 2 additional times with a 5-second delay between each one. Each time the radius increases by 75. Split Earth echolocation is visible to both teams. Well, hey, I'm looking at this thing. That's really big. That's kind of good. I mean, hey, you can really zone out areas. Like, it's pretty good. Like, Roshan fights, not gonna lie, Roshan fights, like, you put this thing in the Rosh pit, it's a GG. But it's expensive, you know? For Leshrac, you need every piece of gold. This hero is very timing reliant, you know? Like, Leshrac really needs to hit timings to be viable. You need your Yules, then you need your BKB, that type of thing. Ice Spire creates an icicle at the target spot for 15 seconds, slowing enemies. So it's like Old Tusk's frozen sigil thing. It's sigil. Chain Frost can bounce to the icicle if there's no other enemies in range. Can cast Frost Shield on it. Has 300 health. It has health. What? I mean, to be fair, it's a pretty big slow, but to be, you know, it's not that good and it can be killed. I mean, basically what they're saying is, hey guys, you can use Chain Frost on people now. Like, you can solo kill people. So like, the viability I see with this thing is that it's good for helping you solo kill people, but like, most of the time, why would you, I don't know, it's good for that reason, yeah. It's good for helping you solo kill people if they're like off the wave type of thing. Alright, Lifestealer. Open Wounds provides attackers with 50% lifesteal for all damage dealt to the target. Has 800 cast range, 25 cooldown. Okay. Oh, it gives you Open Wounds. Okay. What? It just literally gives you new ability. Wow, it's so new. Aghanim Shard. It's an upgrade to Laguna Blade. Increases Laguna Blade cast range by 150. Laguna Blade can be now also be ground targeted. Will always travel its full cast length and hit all units along its path. Nice, I can shove waves with Laguna Blade, baby. Let's go. Nah, but what I will say is for spellcasting Lina, this is super legit. Being able to hit, like, let's say your team hits like a 2-man Earth Spike and you follow it up with like a multi-man Laguna Blade. That's really strong, actually. So this is very strong, going like Aether Axe and then this thing. You can even buy this early game, kind of, because it's a low cooldown spell, right? So you can use this like pretty casually in team fights. So, all right, that one's viable, I'd say. Lion, Mana Drain grants True Sight over the... I read this and I'm like, ah, frick it, this is horrible. Reduces their attack speed by 90. 90? 90? What? 90? 90? That is so much. 90? Jesus. Okay, I mean, hey, it's definitely viable against certain right-click heroes, especially heroes that have, like, attack speed issues, you know? That's a lot of... This is really good against certain right-clickers, you know? It's not good against, like, certain illusion heroes or, you know, like, things like that, but you can counter heroes like Spectre, kind of, with this, and PA is Fan, you know? It's a lot of attack speed. Savage Roar now empowers allied units in a 700 AoE plus 20%. Okay, so it buffs up units. No, that sucks. Lucent Beam. Also, it allows Lucent Beam to be ground targeted, increases stun duration from 0.8 to 1.1, and grants you 30% bonus movement speed. Okay. I mean, actually, it is good for scouting areas, but that's all it's good for. I mean, the movement speed is, like, cheesy. It's okay. I mean, it's not bad, but it's, like, it's not that much gold for Luna, but you need other things. Summon Wolves. Causes one of your creep waves to include an uncontrollable wolf that moves with... Is that not the old axe? Wait, what's the cooldown? Oh, it's when you cast Summon Wolves. Oh, wait, is it not? Oh, is it each wave? So every time a wave spawns? Oh my god, is this just the old axe? What is this? Is every time you cast Summon Wolves? This is so unclear. I think it's just with the creep wave, which is legit, because they also made it where Feral Impulse no longer has a radius, which is the extra damage. So if that's the case, I mean, 1.4 gold to split push. If it's every wave, that's legit. So if it's every wave, it's good. Even if it's every time you cast Summon Wolves, that's good. This could be very strong, actually. Magnus. Horn Toss. Okay. Tosses enemies in front of you, launching them behind you. They spend 0.6 seconds in the air and take 150 damage on landing and are stunned. Cast range 100, cooldown 30. I mean, hey, if you're really bad at doing turn RPs, like if you don't know how to do the turn RP thing, and you want to skewer people into your base, it's good. But, like, I don't know. It is really good for, like, skewering people back. You know, you blink, you horn toss, and then you skewer them. It doesn't make that pretty reliable. So, it could be okay. It's a decent amount of damage, too. I would say this one's okay. As, like, a 4th or 5th item. Spear Mars impales up to 2 units and leaves a fire trail behind it, which lasts for 10 seconds and deals 35 DPS and slows by 20%. Debuff lingers for 2 seconds. No. Grants Cold-Blooded passive. When you are targeted with a spell, a single target Mystic Snake is sent back towards the enemy. Cooldown is 12. I mean, I don't know, that sounds like garbage to me. Ransack. Ransack now has a 30% chance on hit to apply a Geostrike debuff, slowing enemies. Okay. Oh wait, but is that for every Meepo? Instances from different Meepo stack. Oh, so it gives you Ransack. Oh, okay. Oh, that's really good, actually, then. That's really strong. Okay. It is a 30% chance, to be fair. But 30% is really high, you know? That's kind of good. I could see that. Leap grants 1 extra leap charge. Attacks during the leap buff have a 1.5. Oh, that's strong. You get a 50% chance. I mean, you get a 50% crit, and you get 1 extra leap charge. That's good. That's definitely good for mid Mirana. Mid Mirana, you definitely can buy this for sure. As like a 3rd or 4th item for sure. Tree Dance lowers Tree Dance cooldown from 1 to 0.3. And cast point... Oh, you're hopping everywhere. This is really good, though, for, like, the mid to late game. If you're, like, split pushing, very strong. You know, especially if you take this primal damage, you basically just constantly hop around and split push. It's really good for that. Adaptive Strike Agility. Causes Adaptive Strike to have 1 multi-shot and removes the 3-second shared cooldown between the 2 different abilities. Oh, that's actually very strong. So, you get multi-shot, which is good on the W. It's very, like, it's a lot of damage. It really is a lot of damage, his W. So it's quite a bit of damage, and it removes the 3-second shared cooldown between the 2 different abilities. So you can nuke someone and cancel their TP. Basically, sometimes if someone would, like, you're fighting them, you would W them, and then, like, while they were TPing, and then other people would TP out, it'd be annoying. So this is, I don't know. Once again, most of these things, like, guys, my main thing to say is that basically like most of these items are like a third or fourth item for cores. You know, third or fourth item. Riptide can activate Riptide, releasing stronger Riptide that deals 100 extra damage and slows enemies. Applies around each illusion, but can only be hit by... I mean, I don't know. It's okay for split pushing, but you really don't need it for split pushing. Your illusions are strong as is, so... Sprout causes the first 2 trees destroyed by Sprout to summon a greater tree and... No way! That's so legit. That's so legit! What? That's actually broken. Oh my god, that is so broken. What? Oh my god, no way. Because basically, you know, the counter to the Prophet is a Quelling Blade, right? But if you Quelling Blade, like, you only get 1 Quelling Blade, right? And it just blocks them with a greater tree. That's so good! I'm about to rush a shard. I'm gonna rush shard and max Sprout. It's gonna be so garbage, but maybe like, okay, you buy Orchid and then you buy Shard. That's the build, guys. I'm telling you now, Orchid Shard is actually so good. I'm so down for this. I'm so down for this. Death Seeker and Necro. It spawns a fast-moving large death pulse, dealing 50% more damage and causing it to spread a normal death pulse around... Oh, it's just a new ability. Alright, I mean, it's actually quite a bit of damage. It is a 20-second cooldown, so it's kind of meh, but hey, you can do a lot of nuke damage with that. That's kind of good. I'm okay with that one. Once again, it's like a 3rd to 5th item. During nighttime, you can cast Hunter in the Night. Consumes a lesser creature, instantly killing it and restoring 25% of your maximum HP and mana. That seems like garbage. Vendetta. Causes your Vendetta attack to reduce magic resistance by 20% for 4 seconds. Oh, but okay. So basically you can go really, really fast with it because it unlocks max speed. It also gives you 40% movement speed. So I mean, late game, this is definitely legit. Nyx can have a hard time farming, so like, it's kind of awkward, but no, I mean, it increases, like, it really does allow you to blow people up, you know? Like, imagine if you get ganked by a Skywrath Nyx and, you know, you're just, like, mega reduced in magic resist and it does more damage now. I don't know, this is kind of good later on, but definitely not earlier on. You should buy other items that keep you alive and kite. Ogre Magi grants Fire Shield, creates a shield around the target ally building, target ally or building, absorbing 70% of the damage from the next 3 attacks. Launches fireballs at the attacker, dealing 125 damage. Last 25 seconds, can be multicast. Oh, it can be multicast. Cast range 600, cooldown 18. That seems very strong. That seems very strong, especially, let's say I'm against Sven, right? Let's say I'm against Sven, and I see Sven stunning my Slark. I'm going to put my Fire Shield on the Slark. It's going to reduce 70% of his damage for 3 attacks. For Sven, that's massive, right? Because he's mostly 3 attacks. It does 125 damage each attack, and it can be multicast. That's really strong, I think. This one, I think, is really strong, and it's a really low cooldown. You can even use it to shove waves as well, right? It's good for shoving waves, too. This one I like. In games where, like, they have, like, burst damage heroes, I think this one is super legit. Then we have Omni Knight, Hammer of Purity. Grants Hammer of Purity. Auto attack ability causes your next attack to deal bonus pure damage equal to 25 plus 150% of your base damage. You are healed for that amount. Right-click Omni is so bad most of the game, so this one, I find it highly unviable. I don't think this will ever be good. False Promise causes False Promise to have a 0.3 second fade delay invisibility. Oh, so it gives False Promise invisibility? Alright, I mean, hey, for initiating in some games, it can be good, but like, most of the time, if you buy this over Glimmer, like you rush this over Glimmer, I will blow your brains out. Why would you just not buy Glimmer? You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem with this. It's like, why not just buy Glimmer? You could buy both, maybe, but I don't know. Okay, OD Essence Flux becomes a 1.5 second channel ability, swaps your current life and mana totals. Okay. Only transfers 75% of the respective values. Interesting. So you can, like, full heal yourself in a fight. Oh, but the problem is if you have, like, no health, it drains your mana. Right? It makes your mana go to, like, 0. I mean, to be fair, you can gain your mana back late game, no problem. I would say, I don't know, I think later on this is okay, maybe, but the problem is it has like a channel time. If it was instant, it would definitely be viable, but because it's channel time, like, it's kind of sus. Definitely viable late game though. I think you could pick this up late game. Roll Up turns you into a protective ball for up to 4 seconds. Can be cast during Rolling Thunder to temporarily pause it. Can cast Rolling Thunder and Shield Crash during roll-up. If enemies attack you during roll-up, you will roll away from the attacker, applying Rolling Thunder damage stun if there's enemies in the way. Oh, it does stun. I was I was under the impression that it didn't stun, but it does stun. So it just gives you... You can stop? Wait, so can you chain someone? Oh, so during Rolling Thunder, you can just stop in place, which means you can chain stun someone. Isn't this like super good then? A 30-second cooldown? Because you don't have to buy Blink, you could buy this thing. I mean, Blink is still good obviously, but you can just stay on top of someone, right? So like, it basically allows you to like stop on top of someone and stun them twice, right? That's kind of good, this seems good. And on top of that, if you get gone on, you just turn into the ball and you stun them. This seems really good actually. I don't know, this seems like probably, I would argue this might be the best one. I don't know. This seems, unless I'm reading it wrong and it's not as good as it seems, I don't know, this one seems pretty broken. Phantom Knives. Grants Phantom Knives. Oh, that's very cool. It's like the movies. Releases sharp blades around you and a 550 AoE, dealing 12% of the enemy's max health on impact, and applies break. Okay, so it breaks heroes, so hey, if you need to break someone, it's good. I would only buy this if I need a break. I wouldn't buy it for this. Why would you? You don't need 12%. Yeah, I would buy it for the break. If it like was super necessary. Spirit Lance bounces once towards an enemy, always prioritizing heroes. Alright. Causes fire spirits to become a passive ability. Every 7 seconds, a fire spirit respawns. Oh. Okay, but do you still get the active? Like, or is it only passive? My only concern is that like sometimes you won't have force, but no, okay. No, this seems really strong then. I'm like, part of me wants to say it's not good, but at the same time I'm like, it seems really strong potentially actually, you know? This seems actually, this could be broken, actually. I mean that. Because basically, it gives you the ability to not have to just, like, there's a lot of circumstances where you just want to use one fire spear, right? There's a lot of circumstances, but you can, right? You have to just channel them all. So this seems really good, actually. I think this is one where you could go, like, first or second item. Maybe second item. I think this one is viable. Waning Rift now deals 70 bonus damage and knocks enemies back. Oh, it reveals wards. So hey, for support Puck, it's really good at dewarding. And it's good against like Invis heroes, I guess. So, alright, I mean, it does, yeah, this is good. It does 70 extra bonus damage. It reveals wards. I could totally see this being good on like support Puck. You know, the hero gets a lot of farm anyway, so you could definitely buy this and use it for scouting. For sure, especially for dewarding, it's good. Allows Dismember upgrade, allows targeting an ally with Dismember to swallow them and heal them for 6% max health. Oh right, because they got rid of the scepter. I mean, okay, what I will say is it doesn't cost you 4,200 gold to do this anymore, so actually I see this as viable. I do, because you can, you know, basically save people for 1,400 gold. It can be good, I can see that. For every 1.75 seconds of channel on an enemy, another secondary life drain is created, targeting another random enemy hero in a cast range plus 200. You continue to channel until there are no enemy heroes available or oh, wow. Imagine if the enemy team doesn't have cancels, like let's say it's some really good Pugna game and they can't cancel life drain. This seems very viable. You could just like completely destroy people. This one I see is cool. It's kind of weird because a lot of the time with life drain, you don't get to channel it for that long. Usually you'll channel it for like 3 seconds max, but hey, you know, in certain circumstances, it's definitely viable. You know, if it's a good Pugna game and you have a lot of frontliners, I could see that being very strong. Blink releases a sonic boom when you blink at both your starting and ending locations. Deals 150 damage and a 300 AoE and silences for, you can be hit by both. Oh, well, that's really good then. Deals 150 damage and a 300 AoE and silences. That's like broken. Isn't that broken? It gives you wave shove. It gives you a silence. You know what people are going to do? They're going to buy Blink Dagger and Quap. They're going to blink in with the Blink Dagger, and then they're going to, like, scream, blink away, and ulti. Why wouldn't you do that, right? Well, Blink Dagger, you know, because then you could just buy a Dagon, right? But, I don't know. I think this has potential. It's really good for wave clear, you know? Now you can one-shot waves, because you walk up to the wave, and you blink on top of the wave, so you blink in place, and you can, right? Because you can be hit by both, right? So you can blink on top of yourself, and you can one-shot creep waves. So it's really good for Quap's wave shove. The only problem is you have to use your blink to do it, but alright, I mean, I think this one definitely has potential, you know? It's quite a bit of nuke damage, and the silence is very viable against certain heroes, you know? Let's say you have to cancel a black hole, you can blink to cancel the black hole. How cool is that? It seems pretty legit, you know? So, okay, I like that one. Storm Surge causes Storm Surge to have an 18% chance to release a forked lightning when attacked, or always when hitting a target and none deals 120 damage and slows? That seems trash. Okay, grants Sleeping Dart, fires a dart at the enemy, putting them to sleep for 3 seconds. Target is invulnerable until the duration ends. When the target wakes up, they receive 120 damage and are slowed. Oh, that's very strong. It gives you like, it just lets you stun someone for 3 seconds, basically. That seems very good, actually. I mean, the problem is you obviously have to buy it later on, but like, Just being able to take someone on the fight for 3 seconds, and then they get slowed afterwards by a lot, I can definitely see this being good. You know, it even lets you initiate on people, you know? If you need to set up for your team, they are invulnerable, right? They're invulnerable, but you can set, you know, you can obviously put down a smoke screen on top of them afterwards, so yeah, that seems pretty good. Telekinesis allows you to use telekinesis on yourself. Throw range is 60% longer and cool. Oh my god. So you can throw it on. Oh, it's always 60% longer. So it's even 60% longer against enemies. Oh, and you can throw teammates in. Oh, you can use it on allies as well. I was thinking only yourself. Oh, that's cool. I mean, to be fair, you don't really get you have to stun your teammate, right? Right? Am I wrong? Yeah, it looks like it stuns your teammate, which is kind of questionable. But to be fair, you can throw them in really far. The one thing I will say is it's good against enemies. Like, it's like Flaming Lasso. You just like bring them all the way out of position. All right, epicenter. Every 700 units moved causes an epicenter or pulse around you. How often is this? It's actually pretty often. That's not that bad. 700 units is not long. People are gonna buy like drums, Yules, Yasha, and they're just gonna run around epicenter pulsing. That's gonna be so funny. I can actually see this being okay. It's kind of meh, but I can see it being okay. Demonic Purge allows Demonic Purge to be cast on allies, continuously dispelling them and healing them at the end instead of damaging them. Oh wow, continuously dispelling them. That can be very strong. Against certain team comps where they're all like slows and stuff, you know, this could be really good. Necromastery now provides a 1.75 spell amp per soul. Oh, per soul. Oh, so that's per soul. So that could be a lot of magical damage. That definitely could be a lot of magical damage. So this is one that I saw hyped up. Shackles creates 4 serpent wards that attack the target while you channel. However, they do go, oh no, they last 8 seconds. So they last 8 seconds no matter what. So to be fair, like, it's a lot of extra damage. I can see why people are hyping this up, right? It gives you 4 snakes. You can max out your shackles, right? So you max out your ether so you can actually farm. Do not max shackle and rush this item, I swear. People are gonna do that, and it's gonna be very underwhelming because you're still not gonna have good cast range. Please max your Q, or at least take like 3 points, shove waves, get farmed, then max your E, and then buy the shard after Aether Lens. I think that's gonna be the play with this, so you can actually channel your E. But yeah, I see potential with this. It definitely makes some sense. Especially, this makes like mid-shaman much more viable. I can see mid-shamans going like Aether, you know, Aether and Dags. Also, it looks like it might trap people in between the wards if I'm not mistaken. Does it do an automatic ward trap? If that's the case, that's very strong. Glaives of Wisdom causes it to bounce towards the closest enemy. Okay, late game Core Silencer. I mean, it's good for late game Core Silencer. Ancient Seal debuff now causes other debuffs applied to last 40% longer. Okay, that could be very strong late game. You can like make some stuns last mega long. 40%. 40! That means a 5-second stun will last what? Like 7 seconds approximately? You know? That's very big. That one, late game, once again, it's Skywrath, so you don't get that much gold unless you're like killing everybody. But late game, I can see this being good. Causes Corrosive Haze to be applied for 5 seconds to units hit with Slitherine Crush. Okay, so if you stun, they all get amped for a short period of time. That's pretty good. That could be good, especially with like cleave heroes. If you have like a Sven and you can amp everybody, it's kind of good. I can see that. Fishbait can throw it on enemies to reduce their movement speed by 30, grant you true sight over them. If you pounce an enemy during that time, you will be rewarded with 50 attack speed for the duration of the pounce. Okay, I mean, it gives you 50%. Yeah, but they have to be, you have to like fishbait them, then pounce them. I don't know. Is it targeted? It seems like it's targeted. And it reduces their attack. Alright, what I will say is don't buy this early, but definitely viable like 4th, 5th item, as per usual. Scatterblast. Units in the point-blank range of Scatterblast will be knocked back 250 units, take 125 extra damage, and be stunned. Oh, okay. But they have to be in the point-blank. But to be fair, 1.5 seconds... Oh, that's good, though. Okay, so why is this good? What I can see people doing is you walk up with the Scatterblast, you stun them, or you buy a blink. So you buy a blink, you blink on them, right? You Scatterblast them, you stun them for 1.5, it pushes them into cookie range, and then you cookie them, right? So it's really good. It's basically really good for Wave Shove because it does extra damage. So it's good for Wave Shove and good for nuking people, and you can do this like blink thing. So maybe buy blink. I don't know, keep it in mind. It's a bit expensive, right? But you can consider it. Concussive Grenade knocks back enemies, slowing them by 50% and disarming them. Okay, basically it's like, hey, are you countered by right-click heroes? Buy a shard. But yeah, 50% slow and disarm definitely can make sense for Sniper. I can see that. Dispersion can activate dispersion to spawn a haunt illusion to attack the most recent hero that you damage and lasts 5 seconds. But it's a 25-second cooldown. Man, it's late game. Nether Strike causes Nether Strike to have a cast delay rather than a cast time. Deal 200 extra damage and apply break for 4 seconds. Okay, so basically it can count. Breaks are always important in Dota. It counters heroes like PA and Bristle for sure. You know, your Vipers type of thing. And 200 extra damage, and it casts delay rather than a cast time. So it can't be canceled either, is what I'm seeing. You can't cancel it either, which is good, right? So, yeah, okay, it's actually viable for sure. It's a lot of extra damage. It's a lot of damage, right? 200 damage, and a break, and it can't be canceled. You were spell immune, right? So it can't be canceled. Interesting. Electric Rave. Gives you and allied heroes within 750 AoE 3 overload charges. Okay. Lasts up to 12 seconds or until the charges are depleted. Additionally, passively provides 40 attack speed to Storm. Wait, 3 overload charges? These things do so much damage? Dude, this can be broken, guys. It's only a 30-second cooldown. Overload, and you take the overload talent, right? Did they change it? Oh, and you can get this thing as well? This could be legit. This one is legit. Dude, overload is a lot of damage. Like, 3 extra overloads? I think it's like, what, 80 or 100 damage? That's so much, actually. And it's 40 attack speed for Storm? This one is legit. I can see people going like Bloodstone into Shard. I could see that for sure. Stormhammer now applies a Dispel. Ha! That's funny. Legit though. Funny but legit. You know, in games where you want the Dispel, you pick up the Shard for sure. I can see that. Increases blast off cast range by 600 and applies a 1.5 second stun. Okay. Oh, that's good. Oh, but it's within a shorter radius. Okay. So the stun, you really gotta hit. You gotta be close to them though. So it doesn't stun everybody. You gotta be close. Causes a psionic trap to silence enemies for up to 2.5 seconds based on how long the trap has been charged. I don't know. That's cheesy. I don't know. That's cheesy. I'm not a huge fan of that. Demon Zeal. Costs 25% of your current HP to cast, providing you 25% movement speed, 50 attack speed for 6 seconds. However, it provides 50% more bonus while melee, but it costs your HP. I get the meme. It's like, oh, but you have Sunder, so you can Sunder. But like the problem is, you still can get bursted, right? Like that's the whole problem with TB, So like, it's a lot of attack speed, it's a lot of movement speed, and it's definitely a lot when you're melee, right? Like when you're melee, it's a huge number. So I think it's viable later on. I definitely wouldn't buy it early on because, you need to be tanky anyway, so this is like a 5th, 6th item type of thing. Anchor Smash increases Anchor Smash damage by 90 and causes it to affect buildings, and it reduces the cooldown. I mean, alright, but so it affects buildings, which means it also reduces the building's damage. Okay, I genuinely mean this. I honestly think the reason why this will be legit is for like Glyph. Like, the fact that you can reduce a tower's damage, like, especially when it's glyphed, I think makes this legit. If it reduces the tower damage. It seems like it does, but, it's hard to know. Flamethrower? Grants Flamethrower. Why is it spaced? Releases a flame in the direction you are facing, lasts 7 seconds, applies a debuff that deals 75 DPS and slows, sets trees on fire that eventually die. Wait, so last 7 seconds applies a debuff. So this thing just does so much damage, right? Why does it look like it's doing 30 per second here, right? Why does it look like 30 per second here? I mean, this definitely seems strong, right? Because you just burn everything. It's good wave shove, it's good AoE damage, it's just a lot of damage. And it slows, right? Which is good for Timber. The hero, a slow helps you land your other spells. And it's only a 15-second cooldown. It does cost you 100 mana, but, I mean, I don't know, it could be legit. If it actually does 75 DPS, but it looks like it's doing 30 here, if I'm not mistaken. But maybe it's because it's ticking every 0.5 seconds. Okay, Defense Matrix. Grants Defense Matrix. Targets an allied hero applying a barrier to them that blocks the next 200 damage and provides 40% status resist. Barrier lasts up to 10 seconds. Dude, isn't that just broken? That's so strong. Because you can refresh it, right? Obviously, you can just keep putting this on people, right? Like, it says the cooldown's 30, but you have rearm, no? Can't you just give your entire team, like, 200 damage block and 40% status resist? Oh, but okay. Alright. I see why it's not as broken, because basically, it can, like, you don't get the status resist if it gets broken. Alright. I mean, what I will say is it's really good for putting on people, like, this is very viable. What I'll say, it's very viable. The reason why it's very viable is it lets people initiate, right? a Sven can run up a hill, and usually what you do when someone runs up a hill late game is you stun them so they can't BKB or they can't whatever. But Tinker can, help deal with that. Craggy Exterior. Oh, that thing. 20% chance to stun them and deal 100 damage. All right, no. Nature's Guise. Causes Nature's Guise to root enemies upon attacking. Roots them for 1 second and deals 200 damage. Lasts an extra second when attacking near a tree, which is going to be pretty often considering you're near trees, right? How close to the tree do you want them to be? They're always going to be... That is legit. And deals 200? That's such a high number. 200? What? This is legit. I think. Like, I'm gonna buy Meteor Hammer, and then I'm just gonna buy this thing to solo kill people, right? Like, that's so much damage. You Meteor Hammer? Okay, I think that's good. Battle Trance. Casting Battle Trance now gives you a global aura that gives allied heroes 60 attack speed. I mean, alright, if you need some late game extra attack speed, but it's like, remember when Troll's Ulti used to be that? It's so mediocre. Frozen Sigil. Oh, I said Sigil earlier. It was like the Lich thing, right? Now he has it again. Summons a flying sigil that slows enemies by 30. Does it pierce spell immunity? It used to pierce spell immunity, and that was when Tusk was broken, when sigil pierced spell immunity. I don't know if anyone remembers that. Slows attack speed by 30%, which is a lot, and movement speed by 20%. Nah, that's really good. If it gives vision, for sure. They nerfed it. Like, this spell went through a million changes, and then they just got rid of it, but now it's back. But basically, if it gives vision, I'm super down for that. This thing can be super legit. It also seems like people can't kill it. It doesn't have an HP here. If people can't kill this thing, this is super legit. Like, this is really strong. Firestorm can be self-targeted. When used that way, the Firestorm follows you around. Also causes Firestorm to heal you for 15% of the damage values. Reduces cast point by half. Oh, that's good. I mean, hey, it really does allow you to deal a lot of damage to people and stay on top of people, which can be completely legit because people can walk out of Firestorm, but this makes it much harder for them to do that, and it reduces the cast point, and it heals you, which is, it's a big heal, so I don't know, I could see this being quite strong. I could see that. Decay increases decay radius by 100 and spawns a zombie. Alright, frick that. Fury Swipes. Every 6 Fury Swipe on a single target causes Ursa to get enraged for a second. I mean, yeah, to be fair, because when you jump people, you hit them 6 times anyway with Overpower, so it gives you enraged towards the end of it, so like, what I will say is it makes sense, right? You initiate, you hit them 6 times with your Overpower, you get enraged, and you disengage with that 1 second of enrage. That's the idea behind this, so I could totally see that, right? Wave of Terror now steals 25% of enemy hero base damage and grants it to you as base damage for the debuff duration. It's very expensive. You should just buy a damage item, I think. It's good late game, though, because you steal their base damage, right? So, like, late game, you just steal the Morphling's base damage, or TB's base damage. That can be very strong. And it hits everyone, right? It can hit a bunch of people, so it can give you, okay, late game, I can totally see this, especially if you hit like a 4-man Wave of Terror, you just steal a ton of damage. Gale, it summons 2 Plague Wards, alright, that trash. Poison Attack now also lowers armor and increases max oh, it increases max stacks by 2. Oh, okay, I see what they're doing, alright, that can be very legit. I can totally see that. You can go like Dragonlance, Glimmer Cape, Shard, there you go. Allows you to cast Gravekeeper's Cloak, or you can go the Athos route. Gravekeeper's Cloak to turn into stone form. Restores... Oh, okay. So you can turn into a stone to avoid damage. Very cool. Dissimulate. Adds a partial outer ring to dissimulate. Increases damage by 125. Oh, that's very strong. It really is super good for disengaging and initiating. That's kind of cool. I mean, hey, it also increases damage, which allows you to clear waves very effectively. I can totally see that. Yeah, I don't know really when you buy it. It's kind of awkward, like 3rd item maybe. Like, you can definitely buy this late on, just to be able to disengage, so it's cool. Shadow Word now provides movement speed. Okay. Alright, I mean, hey, honestly, 20% movement speed late game is very strong, so late game, yeah, for sure. Give your Sven 20% movement speed, Slark, why not? Causes a swarm to latch onto and reveal invisible units. Causes Gemini attack to launch an extra attack onto other enemies within 1200 range of the attack that have beetles attached to them. Reduces the swarm cooldown. Okay, so basically if they're swarmed, you can hit everyone. So it gives you like AoE damage. I mean, it's cool later on into the game. Absolutely. If you get a big swarm, you can actually do AoE damage. Sure. That's good. And it reduces swarm cooldown. That's always good. Power Shot now becomes global. But after reaching its default range, it only affects heroes 1. Impacted heroes would be killed if they are under 13% health after taking the impact damage. Kill threshold scales based on power shot channel duration, which makes sense, right? You have to channel the full thing. So basically, oh god, so many people are going to do this as a meme. You can snipe people globally with this thing. It's like AA Blast, but it's not nearly as good as AA Blast because obviously it doesn't reduce healing. Oh god. Oh god, I can't wait to see mid lane Wind Rangers rush this, have no impact, and then try to snipe people in side lanes. The only hero this is viable with is Bane, so you can grip people and do it, or Nightmare. Cold Embrace, a Splinter Blast goes off in that locate. That seems garbage. Voodoo Switcheroo! Turns you into a Death Ward for 2 seconds. What? But it has 30 less attack speed. You are hidden invulnerable. Cooldown is 70 seconds. I mean, it's kind of good though. It keeps you alive. Like, what I will say is it's like a cheap Aeon disc, you know? Except it doesn't like proc when you get stunned, obviously, so you have to see them coming. I don't know. That's all I'll say. It's like, it's cool, but I mean, it's definitely viable for like mid Witch Doctor, like core Witch Doctors. Support, it's okay for support Witch Doctor against like Slarks, you know? It helps you disengage for sure. You know, it can waste time, so alright. Causes Reincarnation to not have a mana cost and spawn 3 skeletons to attack each nearby hero when Reincarnation is triggered. Yeah, I mean, okay. Sure, so it's good against like the AMs. I mean, yeah, this is actually really strong because let's say you're against like the mana burners, you can buy this early on just for that. It's okay. Static Field. Oh, last hero. Oh my god, we're at the end. It's been like an hour. If you watched till the end, you were the GOAT. You were the GOAT. Static Field can be cast to perform a heavenly jump, shocking the closest visible enemy heroes within 2,000 range, dealing static field damage to them and reducing their movement speed by 100%. Hey, 100, I mean, that's a lot of slow. If you were moving forward, you will jump towards that direction. Okay, so I'll be honest, guys. A lot of people are going to say, oh my god, it's a slow and it does damage and blah, 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 blah. The main thing I see is it's really good for disengaging. It gives you mobility, right? So how I see this is it's good disengage. And it does shock people. Oh, it shocks the closest visible enemy within 2,000 range. And it does static field damage, and it reduces their movement speed by 100%, so they can't move. If you were moving forward, you will jump towards that direction. Oh, that's super strong, because it's 2,000 range. So when you're running away, you could shock someone. That's so legit. This one is maybe one of the best ones, I think. Because, like, if you're getting chased, you can slow them 100% for 2.5 seconds, which is a ton, by the way. I think that's gonna get nerfed to, like, 1. That's my guess. Like, guys, I think this is it's gonna happen. I'm gonna say I told you so. It's gonna get nerfed to 1. Because that is so strong. You just get to jump every 14 seconds and slow. And it does static field damage, which is, you know, a big deal. It's a lot of damage. I think this one's good. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the item video. Oh my god, this patch is huge. If you've been watching all these videos and you watched them all full through, I cannot thank you enough. I genuinely cannot thank you enough. I don't even know what to say. You're the GOAT. You are, honestly, you're the GOAT. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this analysis. I'll see you guys in the items and various changes video. And yeah, peace. And we've been waiting a lifetime for this patch. Speaking of lifetime, gameleap is currently doing a $50 off sale on their lifetime sub. So if you're looking for thousands of videos and new daily content every day, you can get a lifetime sub for $50 off right now. This is a special we're doing for the new patch to celebrate. So click the link down below, sign up now, you won't regret it. It's quite a large discount. So I really recommend that you guys take advantage of it, and I'll see you there.